Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Spokane Technical 2 or 4-year circuit virtual college fair powered by StriveScan. My name is Sibel, by the way. I am your facilitator for this evening. We have an amazing college fair for you and some amazing institutions to tell you a little bit about themselves. Now, the great part of these virtual college fairs, although short, right, are appetizers, right? Appetizers for this amazing information of these amazing institutions. So remember to do a deep dive into these institutions after this virtual college fair. But I have a little surprise that I'm going to tell you in just a few seconds. Now, before that surprise and before we get started, just a few housekeeping items to keep in mind. Remember, this is a webinar style type virtual college fair. So that means that your camera and microphone are turned off. You're muted, your video is turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So you're probably wondering, well, how can I ask my questions? There is a Q&A button in your Zoom toolbar. So if you look at your Zoom toolbar, you'll see a Q&A button. You go ahead and click on that and type in your questions to the presenters at any time. Now, I stress at any time. It is only 45 minutes, so do not wait until the end to ask those questions. The presenters will be looking at that Q&A button to answer those questions for you. Also, if you could do us a favor, put the institution's name within the question so we all know who the question goes to. That would be awesome. Sign up for more sessions. This is definitely one of many, many college presentations offered. You may have been here last night or maybe not for the other Spokane fair that we had. But either way, go ahead and check out the schedule on the website for any more sessions that are offered. And last but not least, maybe mom missed out on tonight, or maybe a friend wants to check out these schools too, or maybe you just want to, I don't know, relive the fun, right? A recording will be available of these sessions. All sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Spokane. Now, I promised you all a surprise. Now, the surprise is that at the end of this virtual college fair, our representatives will have breakout sessions. They're going to drop in the chat. Now, remember, the chat, you will be checking the chat as an attendee for some important information, like these Zoom links for the breakout sessions, or any contact information or anything else that these representatives want to tell you about. Okay, so definitely check out the chat. Now, again, these breakout sessions will happen at the end of the virtual college fair. I'll wait around for a few minutes at the end for you to go ahead and click on these Zoom links so you can meet the representatives on a one-on-one basis. So again, wait until the very end of the virtual college fair and the representatives will drop those breakout sessions in the chat. All right, without further ado, I would love to get started. Our first institution up for this evening is Washington State University.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. We are excited to have you join us here tonight. I'm sharing my screen, so hopefully everybody can see that. My name is Randy. I am with Washington State University, Pullman. I serve as our Associate Director of Recruitment, but I also work with students from Eastern Washington as well as North Idaho. So that's a little bit about myself. Oh, and I'm a WSU alum. Almost forgot that portion. So you'll notice I do have the map of the state of Washington up currently. Now, I always like to highlight this because we do have campuses throughout the state. I will be focusing on Pullman, but since many of you are probably from the Spokane area, I always like to highlight that campus as well. Our Spokane campus is our health science campus. So students actually can't apply to that campus as first-year students, as you do have to have all of your prerequisites completed prior to applying. Our 3 bachelor's degrees that finish in Spokane are nursing, speech and hearing sciences, nutrition and exercise physiology, and then our medical school and our pharmacy program are on our Spokane campus as well. But again, campuses all over the state to truly kind of serve the state and the needs of our areas. So Pullman, kind of a unique location. Maybe you've been there, maybe you haven't. If you have, you've seen, we're a destination location. You really go to WSU because you want to go to WSU, you want to be a Coug, and you really want to become a part of the Cougar family. Our students make up almost 60% of the population of Pullman. When school is in session, the average age of Pullman is about 22 and a half. So you are living and going to school and doing all of the things with your fellow students. When you're out and about shopping, you're going to see your professors, you're going to see your fellow students. Like I said, you really become a part of the Cougar family. To help you get integrated into student life and life in Pullman, we do require our first-year students live on campus. We have 19 different residence halls our students can choose from, various locations, sizes, co-ed, single gender, lots of options. While you're living on campus, our students also participate in what we call first year focus. So you will take 1 to 2 classes with those students who live around you. And again, that helps create that living, learning community, helps you get to know those fellow students and start building that Cougar family. Now, we do have just over 18,000 undergraduate students, but although we do have a lot of students, our student to faculty ratio is 16:1. So we do still try to keep our class sizes relatively small, so you will get to know your fellow students and your professors. So like I mentioned, students come to WSU because they want to be Cougs, and that is reflected in our student clubs and organizations. We are a very active student body. We have over 450 registered student organizations. So if you can think of it, we probably have a student club for it. For example, we have the Raptor Club, which works with birds of prey, to the Peanut Butter and Jelly Club that literally hands out free peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We have a cookie club. We have clubs for all of our academic departments. We have the Student Entertainment Board. Their entire purpose is to make sure students can't say, I go to WSU and there's nothing to do. They host free movies every weekend that are just out of theater, not yet on DVD, or I guess I should say pre-pandemic, they did that. Now they're hosting ones that maybe you can't or you have to pay extra for at this point. We also host a lot of concerts on campus. Some of the concerts the Student Entertainment Board have put on have included everybody from Billie Eilish to Khalid, Thomas Rhett, Florida Georgia Line. Beginning of September, we had Andy Grammer on campus to welcome our students back home. We have over 60 fraternities and sororities. We do have Greek life at WSU, as well as a lot of athletic opportunities. Now, we also, every year, our students put in over 87,000 community service hours. And with that, we have the Center for Civic Engagement. So they help students find those activities around the Palouse, whether that's going down to the Snake River and helping collect garbage, to working in the community gardens in Pullman. Lots of opportunities there. Of course, when you're selecting a school, you want to make sure they have your field of study or something you might be interested in if you're still exploring. At WSU, we have over 200 fields of study, so there are a lot to choose from. We are also a Tier 1 R1 research institution. So what that means for you as students is, of course, we want you to go to your classes, read your books, get good grades, all of that. But we really want you to do what you're going to be doing in your field of study. So that way you're building that resume while you're going to school. Some of the programs we're most known for are going to include like agriculture. We were the first school in the country to actually offer a degree in organic agriculture. We do have an organic farm on campus. We have the Carson College of Business. It is an accredited business program, so it is held to industry standards. That's going to include everything from accounting to finance, marketing, hospitality, business management. The list goes on. We have the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication, one of the top communication programs in the country. So if you're looking at journalism, broadcast, our students actually have their own channel in Pullman. So they do their own news, weather, sports, to coming up with their own TV shows. If any of you happen to watch KHQ, Blake Jensen, the weather guy in the evening, Clyde Chalk, one of the morning anchors, are WSU alums. We have the Boylan College of Engineering and Architecture, huge engineering program, whether you're looking at electrical, mechanical, civil, bio, the list goes on. One of the top vet med programs in the country, so lots of animal science programs, to our health science as well, nursing, medicine, neuroscience, quite a few options for our students. If you go to academics.wsu.edu, you can scroll through all of our programs, read strengths of the programs, courses you're going to be taking, and more. So of course, top 3 things you need to be doing now. If you happen to be in that senior year, our application's available now. So you will want to apply soon at apply.wsu.edu. Our priority date to apply by is January 31st, but we are already accepting students for fall 2022. So generally, the earlier you apply, the earlier you will hear back from us. And now our application is super straightforward. Apply online, upload that unofficial transcript. We'll review and let you know if we need any additional information. You're also going to make sure you apply for financial aid. Again, January 31st is going to be our deadline for that, and complete our WSU General Scholarship. One application submits you to all university scholarships, again, due January 31st. Hopefully you noticed the trend there. Get everything to us by January 31st. If you have any questions, definitely contact me. I am happy to help. Hope to see you in our Zoom room later. And of course, go Cougs.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Washington State. If you have any questions for Washington State University, don't forget to put it in the Q&A in your Zoom toolbar, or look out for them in their breakout session afterwards. All right, next up we have Eastern Washington University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mandy, and I am one of the admissions advisors here at Eastern. I serve the Spokane area along with all of Eastern Washington, all of Southwestern Washington, plus Oregon and Idaho. So I have quite a big area this year, which is recent. So that's exciting, but I'm hoping that most of you are from the Spokane area. If we have a few from out of the area, I'm happy to chat with you guys as well. So, Cheney is about 20 minutes from downtown Spokane. That's where our main campus is. So we have a little over 12,000 students out there, but we also share a campus downtown. So we're right next to WSU School of Medicine as well. What's nice about Cheney is it's very much a college town. We don't have a lot of residents that live there, probably around 10,000. And since we have over 12,000 students, you definitely end up seeing a lot of students around town. But being so close to Spokane, the internship and job opportunities are really nice. So you really have the best of both worlds with that small college town and then being so close to a large city. We are one of the most affordable four-year universities in the state of Washington. So our tuition ends up being a little bit less than $7,000 or a little bit less than $8,000 a year. Plus we give out automatic scholarships. Our automatic scholarships are merit-based. So they are specifically based on your GPA, and they can be $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 off all 4 years that you're at Eastern. So that can really take your tuition down to similar to what you would pay at a community college. We also have a scholarship application. Our scholarship application opens around November 1st, and this is a general application. So it'll give out like departmental scholarships. It's one application and it puts you into a pool of all scholarships that you may qualify for at Eastern. Programs. So we have over 150 areas of study. So those are minors, majors, all sorts of different things that you can study. Our top majors are engineering, business, biology, psychology, and dental hygiene. We're the only school in the state of Washington that has a bachelor's degree in dental hygiene. We also have one of the best forensic science programs in the state, as we have the Washington State Archives and crime lab right across the street from our campus. So there's a lot of internship opportunities. Most of the people that work in the crime lab are actually going to be the people teaching those classes. So it makes it very much a hands-on degree. We also have a nursing program that's partnered with WSU. So you do 2 years out in Cheney working on your prereqs. You apply for the WSU nursing school through Eastern Washington University. WSU allows us a certain amount of spots for our Eastern students. Then you end up at our downtown campus in the health sciences with WSU, and you get to graduate from WSU and for Eastern. So it's a really cool partnership that we get to share with them. We're one of 3 schools in the nation with a research facility in oh my gosh, National Wildlife Refuge. It's actually included in part of our campus. So our campus ends up being a little over 300 acres. We have one of the best robotics and automation programs in the Northwest. So if you're interested in things like engineering, it's a great place to go. Community. The community at Eastern is probably one of the reasons why I'm Eastern alum and probably why I never left. We have over 150 clubs and organizations on campus that are all student-led. We are Division I for sports. And then we also have 90 club sports and intramural teams. So lots of different ways to stay active on campus. We also have 13 fraternities and 12 sororities, which really help you get involved with networking, community service, just giving back to the university and to your community. Support and success is really important to us at Eastern. We want our students to be successful when they're here. So we have a lot of support services that we offer and support spaces. One of my favorites is the Career Center. It's a great place to go to help find internships, help find jobs when you're getting ready to graduate, brush up those interview skills or your resume. We have 8 food pantries across our campus. We also have plus and tutoring. So our plus groups are group tutoring, as well as our support spaces. So on our lounge, multicultural center, our pride center, so our LGBTQ plus center, and quite a few other ones. Key dates and updates. So we are now a test-free college. So when you apply to Eastern, you only need to submit your or upload your unofficial transcripts and your application fee or fee waiver. That is all that we're looking for. Our application is over and our priority deadline is going to be February 1st. Here's my contact information with my Zoom link, but we will be hopefully seeing you this evening in our individual Zoom chats. And I hope you get a lot from all the colleges that you're going to hear from. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Eastern Washington University, please put it in the Q&A, but also don't forget, they will have a breakout session afterwards. All right, next up we have Eastern Washington University again, but this time from the ROTC program.
Sorry about that. I couldn't find my little video thing. It disappeared off my screen. So my name is Linda Moody. I work at Eastern Washington University, but I work specifically in the Army ROTC department. Army ROTC is the Reserve Officer Training Corps. So I, goodness, my thing is not working for me. All right, so ROTC is the #1 source of Army officers and nurses. So students that come into our program don't necessarily know that they want to be an officer in the Army. Sometimes they're just coming to try out our courses. A student can enroll in military science classes for up to 2 years with no commitment or obligation to the Army. So it's a way to explore the Army without making a commitment. We like to say you're test driving the Army. If you stay in our program beyond the first 2 years, that's when there becomes a commitment, unless you apply for a scholarship sooner. So there are 2 to 4 year scholarships available. My goodness, this thing is not. There it goes. Okay. So the biggest thing that we are trying to build up is team effort. So everything that we do in our courses is team related. Typically in our fall term, you do a lot of stuff with your actual team in your platoon. So a team is 3 or 4 students. So the 3 or 4 of you do everything together in our courses. As we move through the year, the group of students that you work with expands. And then as you move up from freshman to sophomore and so on, your place in the platoon moves. So you're always learning how everything works together as you advance through the program. So like I said, financial incentives. So this is a big reason why a lot of students typically come into ROTC and stay, is because they want to get a scholarship. So we offer 2 to 4 year scholarships. If you're a senior in high school, you can apply for a 4-year scholarship now. The first deadline just passed, but the next deadline is not until the 11th of January. And then there is also a March deadline. If you get your application in by the January deadline, you would automatically get looked at again in March. So it gives you 2 opportunities to get looked at for the same application. Our scholarships cover full tuition and mandatory fees, or room and board, which pays out $10,000 annually. You also get $420 a month in the cost of living and $1,200 annually for books. Your commitment once you graduate depends on your contract. Typically a 4-year scholarship. If you go on to active duty, so full-time in the Army when you graduate, you would have a 4-year commitment to the Army. Unless you opted to try to go aviation. Aviation does have a 10-year minimum. If you decided you didn't want to go into the Army full-time and you would rather go into the Army part-time, you would go into the Army Reserves or the Army National Guard. And that typically has a 6-year commitment where you do 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks of annual training each year. Our scholarships are competitive based on your scholar athlete leader. So they are not based on financial need. They are based on your performance as a whole person. Some students do contract non-scholarship. If you are a non-scholarship student contract in our program, you get $420 a month for the cost of living stipend only. But we do have some internal non-Army related scholarships. So those typically apply to students that are already enlisted in the Army Reserves or the Army National Guard. Because those students may want to compete for active duty, they can't take an actual Army scholarship. Some other incentives are our summer training opportunities. So internships and leadership schools are our biggest ones. A lot of our students do Army internships. So at an Army facility somewhere, doing forensics, engineering, JAG, nursing, medical. There are like 22 pages of different internships that we offer. And those internships typically can be applied to your degree at Eastern. So your faculty will give you credit for your degree. Our nursing students is typically our #1 program. We have a partnership with WSU and some dedicated nursing scholarships are available. You do get a 3-week paid internship at an Army hospital as a nursing student. And you additionally, if you're on a scholarship, you get a uniform allowance to help you buy like your scrubs and all your equipment for nursing school. You get reimbursed for your NCLEX testing fees and any other required nursing fees that you pay. Academic advising. So as the enrollment officer for ROTC, I also do academic advising for our students. So I help you plan out all the courses you're going to take from the day you enter our program until the day you're going to graduate. And I show you a snapshot of how long exactly it's going to take you to get out of the school. And it shows you also like how ROTC is going to impact your course load. Why Eastern? For our ROTC program, I would say the quality of our program, we have nationally recognized instructors the last 3 years in a row. And we consistently have top ranked cadets across the nation. And like I said, you have the ability to explore military service with no obligation to the Army. Our campus has that small town feel, friendly students, and we're close to Spokane, so you can have the big city if you want to. And our campus has outdoor recreation, and they offer a lot of different trips all over, doing a lot of different activities. So to enroll in ROTC, you would talk to your advisor. You can visit our website or you can reach out to me directly and my contact information is there. Thank you so much and you guys have a great night.
All right, thank you so much. If you have any questions for Eastern Washington University ROTC, go ahead and put it in the Q&A, or again, you can visit them at their breakout session afterwards. Next up, we have Northwest University.
Hi. Well, hello guys. Thank you guys for coming. My name is Oscar and I'm one of the admissions counselors for Northwest University. We're located in Kirkland, Washington. So just 20 minutes outside of Seattle over on the eastern side. And our campus population is around 1,200 students, so a little bit smaller of a campus as well. So let me go ahead and get this started. There we go. So I'll just go ahead and start with our statement that we have at Northwest, and it states, "We, the people of Northwest University, carry the call of God by continually building and a learning community dedicated to spiritual vitality, academic excellence, and empowered engagement with human need." Now, the way I like to look at those three different subjects that we have there is the three different pillars that go ahead and sustain and hold up what Northwest University is. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first one, and that being spiritual vitality. So we are a distinctly Christian university that focuses on the spiritual formation of students at Northwest. Takes on many different forms in the ways of chapel. We have worship nights. We also have different outreach, which happens all across the Seattle area as well. We also have 24-hour prayer where students get to go to like prayer at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and get to just write encouraging words for one another as well. Our next section is going to be academic excellence. Like I said earlier, we have 1,200 students on campus. So it's more of that community family-like unit, and our student to faculty ratio is 10:1. Average class size is 17, and we offer over 70 different majors and minors. So some of the more popular programs that we have there, education and also nursing. And due to the smaller community that we have, you create more of those interrelations with your professors and also establishing different connections out. What we have here is going to be empowerment engagement. So one of the great things about Northwest, and one of the reasons why I chose to go to Northwest, is all majors include cross-cultural global learning. And what that looks like is psychology majors get to go to Germany and get to explore the different types of concentration camps that are there, and they get to explore the foundings of how psychology came to be. Business majors get to go to China, Japan, and different parts of Europe to learn how culture and just being abroad in different markets, how they affect business and how that also hinders certain areas of it. And all majors incorporate internships and experimental learning. We're in the Seattle area. We're surrounded by companies such as Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Salesforce, they're all within a 10-mile radius to us. And for nursing students, the Seattle area is also a great area for different types of hospitals. We have world-renowned hospitals around us, such as Evergreen, Swedish, University of Washington Hospital, Seattle Care Cancer Alliance. And also, if you're wanting to work with kids, we also have Seattle St. Jude's Children's Hospital in Seattle as well. And then we also have 32 different countries that are represented by 10% of our international student population. And that goes to show just the different types of outreach that we have in the world as well, and students that occupy Northwest. So like I was saying earlier, the different types of connections that we have at Northwest, this is just a brief overview of all of the different types of companies that are around us and where we have current alumni working, and also current students that are interning in each and every one of these different types of companies. Google headquarters for Washington State is actually a mile north from Northwest. And like I said, within that 10-mile radius, we're just surrounded by a bunch of different types of companies. So it's a great place for internships as well. Now, we do have a couple of brand new things coming to Northwest, and some of those are tech majors. So we have had UX experience design, and that's just a program that goes ahead and mixes software engineering with graphic design and a little bit of psychology. And that goes ahead and brings together the different components of what makes your apps draw you to them, what causes, the facial recognition technology on your phone to go ahead and unlock your phone and different things like that. And students get to dive deep into that. We also have video production where students get to work with different film mechanics and live animation or live motion, and also animation, and getting to work within those different types of sectors. And then we also have computer science and data science. Like I said, within all the different types of corporations and companies that we have, it's just an amazing place for internships as well. And also for ministry majors, we also have a scholarship that is empowering the future, and it covers at least 50% of tuition for in a scholarship for ministry majors. And that's just to go ahead and help out within the ministry department as well. Some of the important dates that we have here. So our application for fall 22 is now open. And we also have an early action deadline, November 15th, and that's to go ahead and get priority on scholarships. And also it is free. The second one is going to be January 15th. And then afterwards, it'll be a small application fee that'll be applied, and then getting financial aid in before December 1st. We also do have in-person visits. We have info sessions, transfer talks, and one-on-one visits virtually as well. And just some application pieces. The only things we need are going to be just regular application completion. We do require a biographical essay. We're also test optional. So ACT and ACT are optional, but we do welcome them. High school transcripts if you do have some. Lastly, stay connected with us. We have all different forms of social media here, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat. Anything you'd like to connect with us on, we'd love to reach out to you as well. And there is my contact information. I'm the admissions counselor for this area, the Eastern Washington area as well. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Northwest University. If you have any questions for them, it'll be in the Q&A or again in their breakout session at the end. Next up, we have Gonzaga University.
Hi, thank you. My name's Erin Hayes. I'm Director of Admission at Gonzaga University. Gonzaga is a private liberal arts Catholic university in the Jesuit tradition. And Jesuit education is world-renowned for providing holistic development, mind, body, and spirit. And at Gonzaga, that's what we focus on. It's called Cura Personalis, and that's a Latin term for care of the whole person. Gonzaga is a medium-sized university with around 5,000 undergraduate students who hail from almost 50 different states and about 40 different countries. About 40% of the student population is Catholic, and the other 60% are a variety of faiths, and some students have no faith at all. 30% of our first-year class identify as BIPOC students or students of color. Gonzaga is a top 100 university, nationally ranked university that educates students of leadership and service for the common good. At GU, there's an emphasis on interdisciplinary and hands-on experiences such as internships, research, design projects, field work. With an average class size of 23 and a student to faculty ratio of 11:1, we provide a lot of personal attention in the classroom and in our advising. And professors teach everything, classrooms, labs, they do research with students. It is a very personal learning environment. In fact, we're ranked number 13 in the nation, or top 5% for best undergraduate teaching. We have happy students with 92% retention rate, which means students stayed with us during the pandemic, which is amazing. And our graduates have been really successful with the classes of 2018 through 2020, reporting that over 90% of them are working or in graduate school or a long-time volunteer program like the Peace Corps within 6 months of graduation. We are located just across the river from downtown Spokane. So it's about a 10-15 minute walk into the downtown city center. The location is phenomenal for internships, restaurants, shopping, hanging out with your friends, as well as easy access to hiking, rock climbing, golfing, skiing. In fact, our GU Outdoors program takes students skiing every weekend on a ski bus and on many other outdoor adventures every week throughout the year. Students also have free access to the Spokane City bus system with their GU ID. We offer over 75 academic programs under 5 different schools. They have College of Arts and Sciences, Schools of Business Administration, Education, Engineering and Applied Science, and Nursing and Human Physiology. Some of our most popular majors are business, engineering, health sciences, psychology, and communications. 82% of our students come from over 200 miles away. And while Gonzaga offers great academic challenge, we do that with a lot of support and opportunities for students to grow and share their gifts outside of the classroom. There are over 140 clubs and organizations. There are really strong residence hall communities where our first and second year students are required to live. But if you're from Spokane, you can choose to live at home if you'd like to. We have speakers, dances, cultural festivals, service and advocacy opportunities, very active intramural club and Division I athletics, go Zags, and many optional retreats and spiritual options. We provide excellent resources for students through many different offices, such as our Center for Student Academic Success, which includes our Disability Access Office for students with learning differences. And then for every student, there is free tutoring in over 20 different subject areas. I also want to highlight our Unity Multicultural Education Center and our Lincoln LGBTQ+ Center, both as great resources and education centers and home away from home for students. And lastly, we have over 800 leadership positions for students on campus. This is a place where your voice can be heard and honed, and you really learn how to lead once you leave college. We use the Common Application or the Act 6 Leadership Scholarship Application for admission and to determine automatic merit scholarships. December 1st is the deadline for General Gonzaga, and November 30th is the deadline if you're applying for the Act 6 scholarship. And Act 6 is an urban leadership development program that comes with a scholarship for the full tuition and or full financial need. And there are 4 awards for students in the Spokane area. Students interested in nursing and engineering need those academic interests as top interests on their application, and they are under a direct admit review. You have to be admitted into those majors. We evaluate holistically, taking into consideration curriculum, grades and grade trends, the quality of the writing on the application, character, so a teacher recommendation and a counselor report. Extracurricular activities and test scores are optional. You do not have to submit an SAT or ACT. And that includes, we are test optional for everything: admission, automatic merit scholarships, the honors program, special scholarships. It's really your choice if you want to submit the SAT or ACT. If you don't, we'll just put more weight on curriculum, grades, and writing on the application to help us determine admission and the automatic merit scholarship. The middle 50% range of students who enroll each year is typically between a 3.5 and a 3.9. 25% are higher, 25% are lower, and we're looking at unweighted GPAs. December 1st is also the deadline for filing the FAFSA, and for undocumented students, we recommend filing the WASFA in the state of Washington to access need-based aid. And for a student who is Pell eligible, We will cover the full cost of tuition with scholarships and grants in the state of Washington. So please file the FAFSA and help us get you the best aid possible. And I hope this has helped a little bit. I'll be around for questions later, but thank you so much. Go Zags.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Gonzaga University, put it in the Q&A or wait until that breakout session at the end. All right, we have Northern Arizona University next.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Alrighty, so I am with Northern Arizona University. So if you are looking to maybe go out of state like I did, you might find NAU to be a good fit. I graduated from NAU in 2015 with my degree in hotel and restaurant management. I'm originally from Western Washington, so it's nice to be back helping students from the Pacific Northwest pursue their future. If you do have any questions, my contact information is here. I work with students across Oregon and parts of Washington. So we are located in Flagstaff, which is at an elevation of 7,000 feet in the largest contiguous ponderosa pine forest in the country. Being at that high elevation, we do get all 4 seasons, including about 100 inches of snow each year. So if you were thinking Arizona is too hot for you, Flagstaff is very different. I like to say it's Arizona's coolest city because we've never hit 100 degrees. So coolest city is literal for that. We're also very close to a lot of outdoor adventures. We are within a 3-hour drive to 11 national parks and monuments, including the Grand Canyon being about 90 minutes away. City of Flagstaff has a permanent population of about 75,000. So we have that small college town feel, but those big city amenities. Now, looking at the university and what we have to offer, we are an undergraduate focused institution. We were founded as a teaching college in 1899. So we have grown significantly since our first graduating class of 3 students. We now have about 21,000 undergraduate students on campus. We do have 9 different academic colleges housing almost 100 different programs. Some of our popular programs include music and theater, education. We do have the only CAPE accredited College of Education in the state of Arizona. Engineering, we have 7 different engineering options: computer science, forestry, environmental science, business, hospitality, psychological sciences, social work, criminology, just to name a few. And I'll drop a link into the chat as well, or if you want to join me, I can talk to you a little bit about programs that you may be interested in, but there are so many different options. We also see a lot of students that are conducting research. So with us being an R2 research institution, we have a lot of different opportunities available to undergraduate students. And NAU ranks in the top 100 for research in universities without a medical school. So living on campus, getting involved is something that I highly recommend, especially as an out-of-state student. We have 22 residence halls, 8 specifically for first-year students. You are not required to live on campus during your first year or at any point during your time at the university, but we see about 90% of our students live on campus their first year. We actually house you in what we call residential colleges. So you'll live around other students in your same academic area. So if you're a biology student, you'll live around other students that are also biology or chemistry or astronomy. So you might have some of the same classes as those that you are either living with or living around. We have over 400 different clubs and organizations, so very easy for you to meet others with similar interests, but also very easy for you to start your own club. We do also have our Peer Jacks mentoring program, which is specifically for out-of-state students. We pair you up with an upper division student who's there as a resource during your first year. They also will plan different programming too. So it's a great way for you to meet other out-of-state students and be able to connect and have a smooth transition to the university. We are an NCAA Division I school playing in the Big Sky Conference for all of our sports except women's swim and dive. You are able to go to all of the athletic events using your NIU ID or your JAX card. We also have a very diverse campus. We have 25% of our students that identify as Hispanic. We are striving to become a top serving institution for our Native American students and currently have over 110 Native American tribes represented. But regardless of your background or life experiences, you'll find others to connect with. We have our Office of Inclusion, Multicultural, and LGBTQIA Student Services. We also have our Office of First Generation Programs because almost half of our students identify as first gen. Now, if you're looking for other ways to get involved or enhance your education, You might think about studying abroad. We send students to about 70 different countries, 120 cities around the world. And of course, we do want to prepare you for your career. So our career development office has different programming, one-on-one appointments, and job fairs throughout the year to help you find what you're looking for. Now, for admissions into the university, we're looking at these 16 core classes. In the application, we ask for you to self-report your grades. If you have a minimum 2.5 unweighted core GPA and no more than one deficiency in any 2 areas, you will be considered for admissions. If you have a 3.0 unweighted GPA in these 16 core classes and no deficiencies, guaranteed admissions, and we are test score optional. Now, we do participate in the Western Undergraduate Exchange. It is automatic. There is no separate application, and we have scholarships available for you. So the WUI is a reduced tuition rate. So you're paying about 1.5 times what Arizona residents are paying. In addition to that, we also have scholarships, again, to reduce that tuition even further. So you can be paying close to what you'd be paying if you stayed in the state of Washington. Now, looking ahead, our application is currently open. We are rolling admissions, so there's no hard deadline to submit that application. But if eligible for one of those merit scholarships, we do recommend you accept your offer by May 1st. FAFSA is open. I sound maybe like a broken record, but make sure you do get that FAFSA in. November 15th is NAU's priority date. We also do have a separate application for the Honors College that you need to submit after you've been admitted to the university if you're interested in honors. And then we are open for campus tours. I highly recommend getting to Flagstaff, seeing what campus is like. I do live in Flagstaff, so if you are coming to campus to visit, please let me know. I'm happy to sit down with you while on campus. And if you didn't get my contact information at the beginning, here it is again. And thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Northern Arizona University, you can catch them in the breakout room. All right, my panelists, you're more than welcome to join me in video. Come back over and drop your breakout session Zoom links in the chat, please, for our attendees to see. Now, my attendees and my panelists, thank you so much for this session. It has been fun. Remember, everybody, this is just an appetizer, right? So if you want the main entree, you're going to have to go to these breakout sessions, do your research, go to their websites, go take a tour of campus and do all the fun things. Now, another fun thing you can do also is give us feedback, right? So after you close out this window, a very quick 5-question survey will appear. Sign up for more of those sessions on the website. And remember, a recording is available on the website as well if you want to check out the fun all over again. Now, remember, in the chat, our representatives have put in their breakout sessions, okay? So if you're interested in a university and meeting them one-on-one, you are more than welcome to go ahead and click on their breakout room. My representatives, thank you. You can go ahead to your breakout rooms, and I will stay back a few minutes for everyone to get those links. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.